In the year 1953, Jamaica, for the first time, elected Jamaican ministers to run the government, and Bustamante became the first chief minister of the country. It was the first time Jamaicans were completely in the driver's seat of the nation. They had something to prove to the colonial masters. Up to that point in our history, only 1% of the Jamaican population was enrolled in high school. Armed with a zeal to prove that Jamaica could manage its own affairs, the nation went into a productivity overdrive, with emphasis placed on its technical capabilities. The College of Arts, Science and Technology (CAST) was established, known today as UTEC, leading the way for technological advancement in the nation, as Marcus Garvey dreamt, as well as technical high schools to feed students into the CAST. Schools such as Kingston Technical, Homewood Technical, Dintil Technical, and St. Elizabeth Technical were all fashioned with a modern science curriculum, and would be the factories that fed students into the College of Arts, Science and Technology. Approaching the 1960s, Jamaicans were staffing the bauxite industry with competent graduates, and within the period from 1953 to 1963, the Jamaican economy grew faster than the economy of every developing nation in the world. That's how eager the leaders back then were in proving they could govern the country. The growth in Jamaican education and the Jamaican economy was so impressive that in 1966, the World Bank selected Jamaica for a very special loan for educational purposes. At that time, it was 0.35 Jamaican pounds to $1. In other words, 35 cents to $1. The loan amount was $9.5 million, which in today's currency would be approximately 11.5 billion Jamaican dollars. Between the periods of 1953 to 1966, Jamaica spent $4.5 million on its high school capacity. Therefore, the loan of $9.5 million would significantly increase the number of high schools. By this time, the high school enrollment rate was just above 50%, with a growing population of 1.78 million people. Jamaica needed more schools to train its people so that it could realize its potential productivity. So the school building program began with an ambition to build 50 additional high schools with the $9.5 million US loan from the World Bank, and additional primary schools with 6.5 million Jamaican pound. This was Jamaica's chance to expand its education system and cater to the needs of all its citizens efficiently. But this endeavor turned out to be a complete train wreck. It all started when Dr. Burt was given supreme command of the school building program by the Minister of Education, Edwin Allen, in 1970. Dr. Burt was the then Minister of State in the Ministry of Education and would give financial recklessness and misuse of public funds a whole new meaning. Starting with the primary school building program, within the first 6 months of the program, approximately $4 billion of the $6.5 was spent, but not one school was completely erected. The Ministry of Education forwarded a memorandum to the Ministry of Finance, begging them for additional provisions, as they had entered into binding contracts totaling $14.5 million, which was more than 2 times what was provisioned for the primary school building program. What led to this overspending was the complete disregard for financial controls in the entire contract awarding process. The DaCosta report clearly outlined this folly. Contracts for designing, building, and managing the projects were awarded on a partisan basis, deeply rooted in nepotism and political affiliations. The Ministry of Education was slammed for their utter recklessness, financial impudence, and total disregard for public funds. But wait, there's more.